Testing. लगा देगा.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Gurpreet Singh, and I will be the moderator for this prestigious activity and this event tonight as well. The purpose of this event is to celebrate the 2023 and the launch of the 2023 QS University World Rankings as well. The flow of the event is going to be that we will have our dignitaries and our chief guests from QS coming. As you can see, the flag raising ceremony is happening right now with the Honourable Chancellor and also with Professor Sood as well. While what we will obviously, you can see Mr. Nunzio there taking pictures. I think he's very excited. As you can see from those pictures, I think what Chandigarh University has got out there is a wonderful display of grandeur as well, and I think it also befits the occasion as well. Considering also this is a very, very significant event for Chandigarh University, that tonight is the launch of the 2023 global rankings, and you've got Mr. Nunzio, who's actually at Chandigarh University as well. And I think this actually is, I think for you guys, this is worth a celebration. So can I get everyone to please clap their hands in appreciation for that as well, please? Okay, so we'll just wait. As you can see, we will see how the flags is going to be raised there. While they do that, I'll just pause for a second, and then after that, I'll give you some more information about what the flow of the events are going to be. There we go. The flag, the QS flag has officially been raised. Let's have a hand. Okay. So while we wait for the dignitaries and also for our chief guests to arrive into this auditorium, let me quickly just give you an overview of what to expect today as well. So we will have, obviously, an opportunity to host and also welcome Mr. Nunzio Quaccarelli, who is the CEO for QS Simmons. We'll have the opportunity to listen to him about his thoughts on various things. So I will be I'll be asking Nunzio a number of different questions, obviously relating to the rankings, what his thoughts are on the new education policy as well, but also, why we're all here is because we've got a very special announcement about Chandigarh University as well. Now, obviously, I'm not going to preempt what that is. You will all find out actually in about 25 minutes as to what that announcement is, and I think it's a very exciting and a very, very proud moment for Chandigarh University as well. So I won't say too much because I don't want to spoil that moment for everyone, but then of course we will have Mr. Nunzio, who will then obviously give some more, or give us thoughts on obviously Chandigarh University's and achievements, and also maybe also share some of his thoughts on the facilities that he's actually he's been privileged to visit today in terms of Chandigarh University as well. One of the other things that we'll also do is, let me just share a couple of things. Obviously, in terms of where, where we've had Mr. Nunzio visit today. So he's visited the Kalpana Chawla Center for Research in Space Science and Technology. He's visited the Research and Development Center and the Ease of Living Lab as well. And he's also now just taking a quick tour upstairs as we speak from that flag raising to the Center of Sustainable Development Goals as well. Now these, again, these are some of the top facilities and the research centers that Chandigarh University has as well. One of the things that, for me, Look, I come from the University of Newcastle. And look, one of the things that I'm always proud is associate myself with Chandigarh University is what it's been able to achieve in the last 12 years and since its inception as well. And I think that is worth celebrating itself, and you will see that tonight, obviously, with the results and the announcement that will be made by, shortly, as I said, in about 20 to 25 minutes as well. I'm also very pleased in terms of, obviously, the leadership that the Honourable Chancellor has been able to provide Chandigarh University. And I was talking to some of the colleagues before around how students are actually at the forefront of everything, and research excellence is at the forefront of everything that Chandigarh University is very proud of. And I think that's something that is also very commendable for Chandigarh University as well. But I think one of the things that, I think this, as I said, this is a significant coup and a significant uplift in terms of spirits for you as staff members as well. Because as I said, it's, what is it, 1:10 in the morning, and I see a full house. So that clearly shows that your love and your dedication to Chandigarh University and the mission that Chandigarh University has as well. So I think a round of applause for yourself for actually being present and being able to celebrate this moment as well. Excellent. So you see, we've got the guests who are touring the facilities at the moment as well, and we'll continue for them to do that in a second. Okay, we've got, now can I please introduce the guests are coming. Can I please get a very, very loud round of applause, please? Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to Nunzio and welcome to Ashwin as well, Honourable Chancellor and also Professor Hemani. It's great to see you on the stage as well. Can I please, first of all, start with sort of introducing, Mr. Nunzio Quacquarelli as well. So Nunzio Quacquarelli is the founder and CEO of QS Quacquarelli Simmons, best known for producing the world's most popular rankings, the QS World University Rankings. QS is also a world leader in international postgraduate student recruitment, running 350 events in 57 countries, online platforms attracting over 60 million web visitors and offering student enrollment solutions. Before starting his own business, Nunzio worked in strategy, consulting in the UK and Italy as well. Later on, he established the non-for-profit foundation QS Education Trust, and 1 year later, he designed the QS World University Rankings. In 2010, he was selected as one of the top 50 business leaders under 50 by Diversity MBA magazine in the US, and since 2014, he co-chairs the Wharton QS Reimage Education Awards. Nunzio contributes to leading media around the world, including the Times, South China Morning Post, and other high esteemed publications as well. Nunzio holds a MA and a BA in economics from the University of Cambridge in the UK, and an MBA in entrepreneurship and finance from the Wharton School. And he has also won the Glockner Prize for Management. Can I please get you to put your hands together and officially welcome Mr. Nunzio. On the stage as well, we also have Dr. Ashwin Fernandez as well. So Ashwin has been with QS Quacquarelli Simmons Group since 2012, and in his current role as Regional Director, he works very closely with universities in the Middle East, North Africa, South Asia, to better understand the local context and to support universities and higher education institutes in their quest for excellence and capacity building. Ashwin is also part of the founding leadership group of the QS iGauge, and was instrumental in establishing the framework for QS Gauge rating services. QS Gauge is India's first nationwide higher education ranking system for colleges and universities pan-India. Ashwin has a Doctor of Philosophy, along with a Master of Business Administration in Marketing and a Bachelor of Commerce degree in Financial Accounting, Auditing and Taxation as well. Can I also please get everyone to formally welcome Dr. Ashwin as well. While, of course, on stage, we also have the Honourable Chancellor, Satyanam Singh Sandhu, and we also have Professor Himani Sood, Senior Vice President for Chandigarh University as well. Can I please get you to also a round of applause for them and welcome them. Can I now please get Chancellor Sandhu to please present a bouquet to Nunzio, please. And can I also get then Professor Sood to please also give a bouquet to Dr. Ashwin. QS has achieved a lot in its time. And one of the things to celebrate, and it's also fundamentally changed how and impacted higher education sector, and to celebrate the success, we have sort of got a small video to highlight the significant impact that QS has been able to achieve in this short amount of time.
More than 3 decades back, Quacquarelli Simons, popularly known as QS, was created as a student project by an ambitious young man at the Wharton School, University of Pennsylvania. The inspiring journey, which began in 1990 with publishing career and education, guides for international students, has today turned into the QS World University Rankings, regarded as one of the most influential university rankings in the world. The man behind the phenomenal success of the leading global education network, QS, is Mr. Nunzio Quacquarelli. At the heart of his mission lies the passion to help people around the world to fulfill their potential through education, international mobility, and career development. With his hard work, grit, and determination, the first QS World University Rankings came to fruition in 2004 and has now grown to become the world's most popular annual comprehensive comparative analysis of universities' performance. Featuring 1422 universities and institutions from across the globe, QS' remarkably consistent methodological framework is based on 6 key metrics, namely academic reputation, employer reputation, faculty-student ratio, citations per faculty, international faculty ratio, and international students ratio. The QS World University Rankings comprise the overall global university rankings and subject rankings covering a total of 51 disciplines grouped into 5 broad subject areas, alongside independent regional markings for Asia, Latin America, Emerging Europe, and Central Asia and the Arab region. Under the same grouping, QS also produces graduate employability rankings, best student cities, higher education system strength rankings, and the suite of business school rankings including Global MBA, Executive MBA, Distance Online MBA, and Business Masters. The QS system also comprises other rankings, making it easier for students across the globe to choose an institution of higher education to fulfill their career aspirations. The QS rankings have been playing a pivotal role in the global educational landscape by empowering millions of students to make informed choices and also helping universities in institutional progression. Chandigarh University today welcomes Mr. Nunzio Quacquarelli and all the honorable dignitaries to the global launch of QS World University Rankings 2023.
What a wonderful video to highlight these significant achievements for QS. For this next part of this program, I would like to invite Nunzio onto the platform here. I would love to actually ask you a couple of questions and in terms of being able to interact with the audience, and also for me to be able to sort of pick your brain on certain aspects, both of rankings and also your views on India and Chandigarh University as well. Nunzio, can I please have you on the stage? So my first question for you, Nunzio, is obviously we've just seen the video that we've played here for you as well, and it sort of wanted to sort of talk about, and now the results are imminently going to be released any moment now. I wanted to sort of ask you about the journey at QS till now. We'd love to hear, and if you can please share your thoughts and how the journey has been thus far for you at QS.
Could I flip the question? So I detected in you an Australian accent.
Absolutely.
Could you tell us your journey? Where did you study for undergraduate, and where did you go for postgraduate study?
That's a very good question. So I'm a global citizen at heart, Nunzio. I was born here in India, but actually raised in New Zealand. Okay. So I did my undergrad and postgrad in New Zealand, and then for my PhD, I went to Australia. So for me, I'm sort of a global citizen now working here in India.
So you're an embodiment of what the QS mission is about, which is to empower motivated young people to fulfill their potential through educational achievement, international mobility, and career development. And that's what my journey has been for the last 30 years, is fulfilling that mission and trying to innovate and develop systems and data insights and services that can really help more young people to really fulfill their potential for the betterment of the world. And so it's been a very, very exciting journey, and the QS World News Rankings are just a part of that. We have a much broader ecosystem of activities.
Right, wonderful, thank you. Now, the second part is obviously looking at change, and I think obviously change is constant, right? And sometimes it's organic, and sometimes it's forced upon us, like we've obviously had in this COVID era, in the COVID situation here as well. So, and how have the QS ranking indicators evolved since the first iteration, when the rankings were first released by QS, and how do you think COVID has impacted on the existing indicators, and how do you see these indicators potentially evolving, if any, post-COVID?
That's a great question. And the answer to your initial question of how have the rankings indicators evolved since 2004, the answer is very little. We've actually prided ourselves on having a very stable, reliable system that enables comparison year after year in a very trusted way. And that's very much something that we strive to maintain and build on that reliability. But you're absolutely right. The second part of the question is, how has COVID impacted? And the reality is the world of higher education has changed, and it's never going to go back to the way it was before. And online learning and distributed learning is becoming more and more part of the norm. And so as a consequence, in 2024 ranking, next year's ranking, we are going to make some adjustments to the indicators. So we are going to reduce the faculty-student ratio weighting, and we are going to introduce an indicator on the quality of online education. We're going to introduce an indicator on employment rate, and we're also going to introduce an indicator called the International Research Network, which is something that we already utilize in some of our regional rankings, which measures the diversity and quality of international collaboration that each university has. And so I think the reason we're looking, and this still needs to go through our academic advisory board, so I can't say that it's definitive, but the reason we're looking at these new indicators is, first of all, online learning is becoming central to the missions of so many universities, and so we're not looking at the volume of online learning, we're looking at the quality of online learning. Employment rates are absolutely critical to the well-being of the students that we serve, and although there are economic fluctuations in different parts of the world that can influence employment rates, we feel that we can normalize for those. And then International Research Network, we feel, is critical because we see the sort of geopolitical instability that is emerging around the world, and we see the climate change crisis that is emerging, and we understand that those problems cannot be solved by nation states or by individual universities. It is only through global collaboration of leading academics, that come together and find solutions to the climate problems, or that work together to forge peace and to forge unity, that we're going to solve those problems. And so we actually think that International Research Network can be a key indicator of the health of the higher education system in the future.
Wonderful. I think that, yeah, look, I'm so looking forward to actually seeing those iterations come in. So are you looking at those iterations potentially coming in the 2024 or beyond that?
So we have an academic advisory board, about 256 academics. It has to go through an approval process. We have to then collect the data, test the statistical reliability, make sure that it correlates in a non-negative way with the existing indicators. There's a lot of work to be done before we can introduce new indicators. We may run them in parallel with our rankings, without introducing the rankings in the first year, next year, and then introduce them into the rankings the subsequent year.
Sure.
I don't know the answer to your question right now.
No problem. Can I also just get you to just raise the
Sure.
Yeah, so, okay, wonderful. This is an interesting question I have for you, and it's obviously around the notion around, you've talked about interconnectedness and looking at university connections as well. And so obviously, as you will be aware, in 2020, the Indian government introduced or released the new education policy. And obviously, as you know, the NEP is sort of a fundamental shift with the aim to make India a global knowledge superpower. The impact, obviously, of NEP is not going to be limited just to India, but because it aims to introduce and internationalize the higher education system, which Chandigarh University is also significantly involved in as well. And the impacts of NEP are also going to be global as well. So two-part question here, after that long prelude, sorry. One is your thoughts on the NEP, and two is, and how do you think the NEP may assist to increase the presence of more Indian institutions in ranking in the global rankings?
Sure. So, in answer to the first question, I had the honor of meeting Prime Minister Modi in October last year, and as part of that, I was introduced to the NEP and studied it, and then had a deep discussion with him about the NEP. And there are multiple levels to the NEP. Fundamentally, it's about transformation and change of Indian higher education, and it does aim to use rankings and the data to provide benchmarks, and part of the metric is to have multidisciplinary universities that are delivering to global standards, and also to drive internationalization of universities so that India can become a Vishwaguru. And I think those are absolutely the right objectives for quality Indian universities to strive for. Why should Indian universities not aspire to global standards? And why should Indian universities be one of the least internationalized higher education sectors in the world? It doesn't make sense, because it has high quality content, it has high quality faculty. So many young people around the world could benefit from that. So I think those objectives are really enlightened and really correct. And then there's another objective, which is to improve governance and to provide a digital-first approach to higher education to improve access, equality, equity and quality of higher education across all universities at the local state levels. That has to be right. You have 20-odd million young people coming into higher education age every year in India for the next 20 years. You're not going to do that by building more buildings. So it has to be right. So I think it's an extremely enlightened document. And the second part of your question was, how will it impact on Indian universities and rankings? The answer is that internationalization and international engagement are central to the mission that we seek to measure at world-class universities. It can only help. I don't know how rapid that progress will be, but having met the vice chancellors and directors of India's leading universities this morning, then I can say that there is a real commitment to the NEP and a real commitment to change. I think we're at the beginning of a truly dynamic, transformational era for Indian higher education. I really do.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And it sort of reminisces, and I think a lot of the things you've talked about obviously talk about my journey as well, because when I moved from Australia to India, a lot of people think you're crazy. And for me, but it was actually seeing the value and the position that India is going to be and the growth trajectory that it has, and being part of that is going to be one in a generation thing as well. And so, and you're absolutely right there. It's interesting you actually mentioned obviously Prime Minister Modi as well, and look, the Honourable Prime Minister Modi is also known as a very visionary leader, and obviously, as you said, you've met him recently. Would love you to sort of for you to share your thoughts on Prime Minister Modi's vision on Prime Minister Modi himself, but also his vision as well. So that's part one of the question. So maybe we'll do that part first, and then we'll do the part, because the other one's a bit more complicated. We'll talk about that.
Sounds fair. Well, actually, my first answer is going to be very brief. I can't put the words into Prime Minister Modi's mouth. So his vision is reflected in the NEP. I think he put a lot of he put a lot of time and effort into collaborating with the team that produced the NEP. His thoughts are present within the NEP. He wants India to be a Vishwaguru. That's fundamentally his vision. And to do that, universities need to implement the NEP.
Yeah, perfect. And then obviously you've studied the NEP and met with Prime Minister Modi as well. What other steps do you think that the government of India should take in order to transform the India education system and make it more world ready, if it needs any?
That's a huge question. It's a huge, huge question.
You're the thought leader here.
I have to be humble and say that there are a lot of very bright minds in India working to answer that question, and the UGC is working to develop a credit system, is working to deliver flexible degree timelines to allow students to study multiple degrees simultaneously, to study physical degrees and online degrees simultaneously. There is work being done to support vocational education and to allow better access to vocational education even for kids that drop out of high school, so they can come back into the education workspace. And there, as I said, there is a move to provide a digital-first approach to higher education to increase access through online digital learning, alongside the work to create the world's leading institutes through benchmarking against global standards. So there's a huge amount of work to be undertaken. Some of it may be absolutely spot on. Some of it may be will need to course correct. But the fact that India is going on that journey is the good news.
Yeah. No, and I think you've actually said that right. And for us as well, because I'm sort of external to Chandigarh University, and as I mentioned, so I'm at the University of Newcastle. And one of the things, obviously, the recent announcement by the Indian government around dual degrees as well. And I think that's one of the, I'm looking forward to having those conversations with the relevant stakeholders here at Chandigarh University. And I think that talks about the impact of NEP and how quickly I think that the Indian government and Prime Minister Modi does wish to actually implement the NEP and then be able to really internationalize the education sector here in India as well. No, thank you so much for your thoughts. Look, that's all. I don't want to take too much of your time there. So thank you so much, Nuncio, for your valuable time and your thoughts on that as well. Thank you so much. Round of applause, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Likewise. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the rankings are going to be released any moment. But before we do that, we do have a video, with some pre-greetings by distinguished personalities from around the world. So can we please play that video before we then, that should then lead us directly into the countdown to the rankings.
On behalf of Mahidol University, it is a great pleasure to express my sincere gratitude to Mr. Satnam Singh Santhu, Chancellor of Chandigarh University and the Chandigarh University community. Participating in the World University Ranking could bring benefits to the university. They helped the institutions build global brand visibility, forge strategic partnerships, recruit international talent, and use KPIs from ranking to monitor university performance, inform strategy and benchmarking against peer institutions. In this opportunity, we are delighted to continue to expand our reach worldwide and to deepen our friendships in India.
On behalf of the President of the University of Florence, Professor Alessandra Petrucci, and myself, I would like to congratulate Chandigarh University. The University of Florence has been a partner of Chandigarh University for several years now in different subjects, architecture, law, economics, and we know what is their commitment, their entrepreneurship, their research level, everything is very high, and we are very happy that they are in the ranking. I do hope that we will start again our collaboration with mobility and with research collaboration.
Greetings from Cape Town, South Africa, and greetings from the University of the Western Cape to our colleagues at our partner institution, Chandigarh University. I firstly wish to acknowledge Prof. Satnam Singh Sandhu, Chancellor of Chandigarh University, as well as Nunzio Kwakwarali, the CEO and founder of QS Kwakwarali Science. Allow me to also extend my warmest greetings to all the dignitaries. I want to wish you well with this most august event and trust you will benefit.
Namaste. Greetings from Sunway University. It pleases me that our #1 partner in India, Chandigarh University, is now also represented in this ranking. Sunway University is proud to be a partner of Chandigarh University, and we are looking forward to increasing our collaboration in the next years. And I'm also very pleased to see that Indian universities, including young universities and private universities like Chandigarh University, have been increasing their achievements, therefore their reputation and their ranking under the leadership of the Indian government and the Honorable PM Narendra Modi. Bahut Bahut Dhanyavad.
I especially congratulate the Chancellor of the University, Mr. Satnam Singh Sandhu, and the Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. R.S. Bawa, and your team at Chandigarh for leading the university to chalk this enviable feat. Given the trail you have blazed in the relatively short time of your existence, this honor was to be anticipated. Indeed, this feat is a just reward for the efforts and hard work of the management and staff of the university. I think it is proper, under the circumstances, to commend the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, for leading Indian education in the right direction. As a member of the International Advisory Board of your university, I'm highly delighted and honored to be associated with your university in moments like this.
I would like to congratulate Honorable Chancellor Satnam Singh Sandhu and the whole Chandigarh University family for its overall and Asia ranking, in which Chandigarh University has been ranked between 601 and 650 in the world and has been ranked between 271 and 218 in Asia, in accordance with the QS Overall University Ranking of 2022. The progress and achievement of Chandigarh University is really for all of us. Chandigarh University is going with its own slogan of discover, learn, and empower. And Midwestern University is going with its own slogan of research, innovation, and excellence. Finally, I would like to express my best wishes for the grand success of this event. Thank you.
Warm regards from Synergy University, Moscow, Russia. On behalf of our team, I would like to congratulate Chandigarh University with being included in the prestigious QS ranking. It's really a big and important step for Indian educational market. Such victories make India education more attractive for international students. And we have been collaborating with India for a long time, and I can agree on how fast and how strong the Indian educational market developed under the leadership of PM Narendra Modi. हम आपको समृद्धि की कामना करते हैं.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to start the countdown to the rankings as well. So we're going to start the countdown. Can I please now, for the countdown, have our distinguished guests and also dignitaries please stand up, and also the audience please stand up as we commence the countdown. So we've got the suspense is nearly there, guys. One more minute to go until we have the global launch. My heart is actually pounding right now. All right. 30 seconds to go, people. Let's have some music.
So guys, हम एक साथ बोलेंगे 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, एक साथ बोलेंगे 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo!
Guys, well done, Chandigarh University. Wonderful. Look, congratulations to Chandigarh University. Congratulations to Honourable Chancellor Satnam Singh Sandhu. Congratulations to Professor Hamani Sood as well. And also congratulations to all of you faculty and staff members and the family at Chandigarh University for this momentum occasion. Can I please get Nunzio to be able to give Mr. Satnam Sandhu the plaque or the certificate officially commemorating the rankings. Nunzio, can we, obviously this is a momentous day at a momentous time for Chandigarh University. Can I please have you up on the stage here again to be able to share a couple of words, obviously, on your thoughts about this tremendous ranking that Chandigarh University's had, please.
I just want to say that having had the opportunity to visit the university and to see the students and the motivation of your students, I really see the fulfillment of the vision of QS. You are providing an environment where young people, disadvantaged as well as advantaged kids, are able to thrive, able to find their passions, able to fulfill their potential. And you know, I can't ask more than that from any university. I think that the combination of that with a commitment to the SDGs and creating a sustainable university, a commitment to leading areas of research, and a commitment to being a research-intensive university with strong international collaboration will provide the foundation for continued improved performance and continued success. I think Chandigarh University has a very bright future. I do say that you're competing with universities that have 600 years of heritage, and so patience is a virtue. Nevertheless, I think you're on a fantastic track, and I wish you all the best for the future.
Thank you so much, Nunzio. Look, and I also must congratulate the Chandigarh University as well for making such a strong debut, and also being able to achieve that in 12 years. As Nunzio was saying, there are institutions in that ranking who've been around for far longer, and I think they're actually not positioned in the ranking at all. So congratulations to Chandigarh. Again, another huge round of applause for this such huge achievement by Chandigarh University as well. We're sort of moving towards the end part of the formal proceedings for this. And so before we sort of do that, can I please ask if we can have Chancellor Satnam Singh Sandhu please provide a plaque and a souvenir to Nunzio, please? Wonderful. Now, can we please have the cake cutting ceremony to celebrate this momentum occasion for Chandigarh University? Wonderful. Thank you. Can I please now invite Professor Himani Sood to the stage here to provide a vote of thanks for everybody for this evening's ceremony.
Good evening, everyone. I just realized how difficult it is to present the vote of thanks at 1:45 a.m. But nevertheless, not coming in between you and your sleep, thank you so very much. Would like to thank Sir and Ashwin for creating this moment for us and getting us on the path to success. And we assure you that Chandigarh University, being the youngest university, will never let you down and will always aspire to do extremely well on every aspect, whether it's ranking, nation development, or proving the world that the education and the academia can really contribute towards making the world a better place. Thank you so very much. Congratulations, team. Can't thank you enough for letting us celebrate this moment, and may God just make this the beginning of our journey towards success. God bless. Jai Hind.
Acha. Now, thank you so much for those kind words there, Professor Himani. Can I please now ask our dignitaries and also guests to be able to be present and come forward for the group photo? Hip, hip, hooray, everybody, let's go. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. Okay? Go.
So चंडीगढ़ यूनिवर्सिटी फैमिली एक बार पूरे जोश के साथ सबको पता रहना चाहिए कि हमारा रैंक 3 है. 1 2 3 हिप 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 हिप. दोनों हाथ ऊपर करके विक्ट्री वाला साइन और इतनी अच्छी फोटो आनी चाहिए कि लगना चाहिए कि आज चंडीगढ़ यूनिवर्सिटी परिवार ने रात को 1:30 बजे एक ऐसा रैंक हासिल किया है जिसके लिए हम बहुत खुश हैं. 1 2 3 हिप हिप. सो गाइस, आप लोगों ने ये अचीवमेंट पाली. एक बार जोरदार तालियां अपने लिए और खास तौर से हमारे चांसलर सर के लिए. सो ये एक प्राउड मोमेंट है हमारे लिए और हमारी फैमिली के लिए. और आज की रात, अक्सर हमारे दिन खास होते हैं, आज की रात खास है. सो अपने लिए, अपने परिवार के लिए एक बार हाथ ऊपर करके जोरदार तालियां और पूरे जोश के साथ. थैंक यू सो मच गाइस. थैंक यू.
All right, thank you everybody for attending. I know it's 1:45 in the